Hi, I'm Gary White, and this is Louisville Now, coming to you live from the Southwest Government Center. And my first guest for today is David Yates, who is the Jefferson County Clerk. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, well, thank you for having me here today.
And you're no stranger to this area, right?
No, I'm born and raised in the area and served on the Metro Council in this district, and then also got to represent this area in the State Senate.
And we might talk a little bit about this quilt you see behind us, because you have a connection there as well. But first, let's jump into why you're here, and that's to talk about the License to Vote contest through the County Clerk's Office.
That's right. It's going to be an exciting contest. This is each year it gets larger and larger, and we increase participation. But what we're doing is we're allowing young people to really bring out that civic engagement. And the License to Vote is going to be an art contest. We allow 3 different divisions, so we'll have the K through 5. The 6 through 8, and then the high school division. We'll have 2 winners each, and they're going to have an opportunity to have some amazing prizes. The schools get involved, and we really just increase that voting engagement.
And that's really the purpose of it, is to get that word out there for people to vote.
That's right. I mean, the communities that are participating and involved, where you have responsible, informed civic engagement, are the strongest communities. And we know that by really activating young people, letting them know how important that is, and making it fun, and that participation, not only a civic responsibility, but something that is an opportunity and a privilege. If you can start that early, we know that we build stronger communities.
And I love the title for this event, because it's License to Vote. And voting and licensing for driver's license, or licensing for cars, they're 2 things that the county clerk does.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of licensing, and I like to let people know that we actually don't do driver's licensing, and
Right.
that is probably one of the most misconceptions we have. But we touch people in so many ways, and so motor vehicle and Department of Motor Vehicles, you're right. So it's a play on words. It's been a fun way to kind of get people in the doors and get young people to participate and draw those pictures and hopefully increase engagement.
And even marriage licensing, because right across from Metro TV is actually located on the 1st floor in Metro Hall, right across from the county clerk, where we just saw a couple getting married, getting their license to get married today.
That's also a big privilege of the job. You know, that we do, elections, which is so important, and we work, through a lot of, the titles and your deeds and stuff. But sometimes when you see these newlyweds or people coming to be newlywed coming in, it's a nice perk of the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, for the License to Vote contest, the piece of art that they're making is actually shaped like a license plate, correct?
That's correct, yeah. And it's the idea for them to let us know what voting means to them, why it's important, and it's really neat to see, especially the young minds, how they interpret it and look at it, and an opportunity to vote and draw that out.
And I think that's the theme, right?
It is.
What voting means to me.
Yes.
So, what does voting mean to you?
Oh, wow. To me, I think it's the foundation of our democracy. It is the most important opportunity and privilege we have as a citizen to shape our future. To me, it's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And on the recent episode of Louisville Now, you talked about a special election that's coming up, so you can get some more information on that as well. People will have that opportunity. But for the kids, you said there are 3 divisions.
Sure.
There's going to be 2 first and second place in each of them.
That's correct.
There are some great prizes.
Yeah,
so
over $6,000 in prizes, and not just prizes for the winner, the children there, but also for the teachers. That's a big part of their participation, and we appreciate that for each of the schools. But it ranges. I mean, I have a cheat sheet here because it gets bigger and better each year. But everything from badge tickets to DWP Louder Than Life to computers. Certificates to nice places to eat, the little loom houses, I mean, just on and on. Derby Dinner, Kentucky Kingdom, Louisville Racing Foundation. It's just on and on and on. And it's still coming. So we're still looking for sponsors to increase this participation. We need some additional corporate sponsors who are willing to really invest in this, to make not just the prizes, but to increase engagement, because it really is important we invest in our young people.
Absolutely. And I think there's a deadline that's coming up for schools to take part as well, because obviously these kids are doing it through the schools in December, right? Can you tell us?
Yeah, we want to make sure that we have every school that wants to participate, let us know by December 5th. And it is important that we have more participation. Each year we'd like to grow, but we don't want any child to be left behind. And I can guarantee you there's not a school in Jefferson County that doesn't have students that want to participate. So we hopefully will increase that each year.
Okay, so this is the License to Vote contest. It's going on for kids to take part, get the word out, encourage voters to take part in our system.
That's correct.
And telling us what voting means to them. So even though Some of them may not be able to vote yet by the time they're doing this, but many of them. But it's important for them to know when the time comes they need to vote.
Sure. We shape these young minds, and you let them know how important that civic engagement is, and so that we plant that seed. But I'll tell you one thing, when the kids come home and they say, we've had a mock election today, we talked about voting engagement, that's also contagious to the parents. Because at the end of the day, I know as a dad of two little girls, they look less to what we say and more to what we do. And so when they're looking at the parents' engagement as well, increases, and we're going to have this next generation of young people that'll be even more engaged, civic-minded, and we'll have a stronger Louisville.
And if you're interested in some more information, you can contact the county clerk's office to find out, right?
Always, it'll be there on the website. We look forward to answering any questions people have.
Now, before I let you go, though, I want to mention that you do have a close tie to this area in the Southwest Government Center.
That's right.
And that particularly this quilt behind us, right? Because you were giving me a little history of when this quilt was made.
I was. This was well before my be able to serve, but this was back in 1987. And if you look into it, it's really neat to see all the different, community engagement. But my grandfather, who served 22 years in the House of Representatives, and him and my grandmother had helped start the Shelby Democratic Club. They also participated in some of this engagement. And I look up here and I see everywhere from our county commissioner, Darrell Owens, to some of the neighborhood groups that I got to represent on the Metro Council and in the state Senate. So looking around the Southwest Government Center, that's very special to me. I had my office down the hallway. I was one of the first people to join with the other council members and do a Southwest office just to be closer to the people. That's an important part of government service.
That's great. And we do want to mention here at the Southwest Government Center, there are offices for Jonathan Joseph as well as Crystal Best. They both have offices here at the Southwest Government Center. And I believe that even the clerk's office had some connection here. So there's a lot of history in this building.
That's right. And that office that our two council members use today, the real secret behind that was a storage closet that me and my legislative assistant came in here. We cleaned it out. We saw that Congressman Yarmouth had one down the hallway, and so we put our name on the door, and that's how that got started. They never kicked us out, and I love to see it still used.
Absolutely. Again, I'm talking with David Yates, who is Jefferson County Clerk. We're talking about the License to Vote contest. It's going on. Get your child involved in that program. Thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
It's great talking with you.
Appreciate it.
We're right back with more here on Louisville Now. Stay with us.